Support WrestleTalk!
Click the thumbs up.
Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk Mecha News! I am Luke Owen. Coming up on today's news, we've got the latest on Becky Lynch not being cleared for TLC, a New Japan champion wanted by WWE, and the possible return of a classic pay-per-view format in 2019. But first, those who've been tuning into Raw since Survivor Series have been banging their head against a wall trying to work out what the heckins is going on with the Revival constantly losing to Lucha House Party in various handicap matches. For those who haven't been following the show, and going by the viewing figures, that could be a large number of you, Lucha House Rules have allowed the Lucha House Party to beat the Revival in 3-on-2 and even 3-on-1 handicap matches, despite the Luchas being the baby faces. And it's not just Corey Graves on commentary that thinks it's psychologically unsound to have the heels fighting at a disadvantage, because the Revival themselves have taken to Twitter to start a campaign to end these unfair rules. Oh, what dastardly heels? How can we, as the Revival, absolute best tag team on this planet, Mercedes-Benz of the tag team division, measuring sticks, top guys, etc., live up to our name and continue to be an asset to Monday Night Raw, the WWE, sports entertainment, and professional wrestling in general, if we're constantly fighting these unfair circumstances? Gasp! He said the W word! Quick, someone tell Vince! Unsurprisingly, the Revival met their petition number aim and even quadrupled it. However, Dash Wilder has asked for more people to let their voices be heard to tell WWE this storyline doesn't make any sense. Ooh, the dastardly heels, I guess. And although the SWAP Nation voted for Avrorge this week in our Raw review, one person who was very happy with the show was one Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Just like last week, it's being reported that Vince rewrote the whole show himself with just a few hours to go before Raw went on the air, showing up at the building at around 3:30 after visiting his mother. And according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, McMahon felt that with the passing of George Bush and it being in Houston, he wanted more faces over and less heavy heat than in recent weeks. This would explain the lack of emphasis on heel heat that has dominated the show since Survivor Series, including Ronda Rousey and Ember Moon winning in the main event, and the babyface turn of Dolph Ziggler and subsequent win over Drew McIntyre. And we've now got the tea from TLC set up for the show following an angle from Raw, with WWE announcing that Ruby Riott and Natalya will face off in a tables match at next Sunday's show. And the finals of Mixed Match Challenge will also take place at TLC, which will be decided next week when Finn Balor and Bayley take on Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox for Raw, while R-Truth and Carmella will face Asuka and The Miz for SmackDown. Remember, the winners of this year's Mixed Match Challenge will get the number 30 spot in the 2019 Royal Rumbles, which gives these finals some major stakes. However, presuming that WWE will not want Finn Balor and Asuka pulling double duty, as they already have announced matches for TLC, the finals could end up being R-Truth and Carmella versus Alicia Fox and Jinder Mahal. As Raja put it, it would probably end up being a short match with dancing and a quick finish. But by far the biggest match on that show at this point is that triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's Championship between the Man, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Mixed Match Challenge semi-finalist Asuka. However, it's now being reported that match could be in trouble, as Becky Lynch has not been officially cleared to wrestle since Nia Jax broke her face the week before Survivor Series. It's been noted that Lynch has yet to have a match since that night, even on house shows, and Dave Meltzer has reported in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter Lynch was cleared from the concussion but not the nasal fracture, adding she has limited clearance at this point, so has been on television but was not allowed to be involved in any physical contact this week. Meltzer does note, however, that a nasal fracture is easier to predict a recovery time for, and the expectation would seem to be that WWE expect her cleared within the next 11 days. Let's hope so. A speedy recovery, Becky.
It's going to wear Jake Chris down. I think we're well on our way. We're well on that path right now.
Willie's done a great job of not being distracted by Callahan or Dave Christ on the outside. He's got...
What is this now?
Is Willie thinking of going coast to coast?
No.
There's Dave Christ running interference for Callahan.
And Willie just dropped Sammy.
Jake Christ there. That slight distraction is going to allow Jake Christ to operate here from the top rope with a cutter.
Super cutter.
Jake Christ with the cover, and Jake Christ is going to homecoming.
Wow.
Your winner of the match and qualifying for Ultimate X, Jake Christ.
with the help of Sami Callihan and his brother Dave, Jake Crist has just qualified for Homecoming.
And that was your Impact Wrestling Slam of the Week, which saw Jay Crist of OVE defeat Willie Mack to qualify for the Ultimate X match at Homecoming in January. Also on the show, Johnny Impact and Taya Valkyrie defeated Tessa Blanchard and Moose. Ethan Page also qualified for the Ultimate X match. Ali and Sue Young beat down Kira Hogan. And Raven helped Eddie Edwards escape an insane asylum he was committed to by his wife. Because wrestling. And yes, Raven has finally returned to Impact Wrestling for the first time since November 12th, 2010. And why yes, I did double check that date. So we sadly don't have to play the Simpsons clip this week. Farewell Simpsons clip, you done good. Over the last month or so, it's been reported that Impact Wrestling were looking for a new home for their weekly TV show, after Pop TV moved Impact to the later 10 PM slot, which hurt its ratings. Both the Wrestling Observer and PW Insider have reported several stations Impact have been in communication with, and Dave Meltzer has noted in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter that Impact have also spoken with Bean, which is currently the home of MLW. While Impact are staying on Pop until they have found a new home, Bean seems to be out of the question already, as MLW's Court Bauer has claimed that they have a contract which says they can be the only wrestling show on that network. Former Impact World Champion Eli Drake, on the other hand, has said to Wrestling Inc. that he believes Impact should move to a streaming service, as that's the way TV viewing is heading. He told the site, "I feel like TV is kinda losing a little bit of its luster, because everybody is so into streaming. I think finding a streaming partner would be great." He does, however, say that it is important to have TV, as it's still the king, adding, "I think TV is still important to reach out to different sections of the audience, but I also think moving forward, streaming and the internet are valuable, and making our footprint there is necessary." After announcing his return to the ring a couple of weeks ago on Twitter, former WWF Intercontinental Champion and my mate Stevie Toucan's favorite wrestler when he was a kid, Ken Shamrock, had his first pro wrestling match in years, winning the BCW Tag Team Championships with Carlo Cannon. While reports say that Shamrock is in incredible shape for someone in his mid-50s, Dave Meltzer has reported in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, "We've heard from promoters with interest in Shamrock, but they've said his price is very high." And while it seems unlikely that Ken Shamrock will return to WWE anytime soon, it's being reported that the company are making big plays to bring in a whole host of new talent in 2019, because their roster isn't stacked enough already, clearly. Along with names like Shane Strickland, Karen Q, ACH, Trevor Lee, Jonah Rock, and Rachel Ellering, many of which are reportedly heading to NXT in the new year, it's now being reported that WWE have interest in bringing in current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion KUSHIDA. KUSHIDA is set to defend his title at Wrestle Kingdom on January 4th against Taiji Ishimori, and Dave Meltzer has noted that his New Japan contract does not end until the end of that month, but adds that WWE are interested in several New Japan names in the new year. But while they are unlikely to get a large portion of the names they want, KUSHIDA is being talked about more prominently, with the idea of getting him involved in NXT, possibly even the rumored NXT Japan as part of Triple H's global localization plans. And while he won't be able to take part, KUSHIDA could be around to see the next all-female WWE pay-per-view in 2019. Dave Meltzer has reported in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that one idea being kicked around for that show is to bring back the King of the Ring tournament and rename it Queen of the Ring, featuring the main roster female stars. At this point, it is just being reported as an idea, with no reports on how that could impact the third Mae Young Classic if one happens. But a second all-female pay-per-view seems a given at this point, following the commercial and critical success of Evolution back in October, with Meltzer even adding that WWE might do at least one all-female pay-per-view a year. And congratulations go out to Flip Gordon, who won the Fight Forever Championship on the new promotion's first night in Birmingham. Flip tweeted out about the win, "How's this for grabbing those damn brass rings?" Meanwhile, the Women's Championship was won by MILLIE McKenzie, who claimed the belt in a triple threat that also included Viper and Kaylee Ray. Ollie El Fakador, Andy and myself will be down at Fight Forever's London show tonight from the historic York Hall to see Shah Samuels take on Jimmy Havoc in a no-holds-barred match, grizzled young veterans take on Travis Banks and Flash Morgan Webster, Mark Haskins versus Flip Gordon, Kaylee Ray versus Brandy Rhodes, and more, as well as the Godfather's after party and a live episode of Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard. If you do see us down there, say hello, we won't bite. hard. And the British wrestling scene continues to thrive, with WOS Wrestling beginning their tour of the UK next year from January 18th to February 3rd, featuring stars like WOS champion Justin Sizem, Rampage, Will Ospreay, Viper, Kaylee Ray, Grado, Adam Maxted, and more. To celebrate this tour, WrestleTalk are giving away 7 sets of 2 tickets to shows of your choice, as well as WOS swag like hoodies and t-shirts. All you have to do to enter is click the link in the video description below and make sure you've subscribed to the WrestleTalk YouTube channel. But be quick, as the competition closes this Sunday, the 9th of December 2018 at midnight GMT. Former ROH TV champion Punishment Martinez debuted for NXT, but what did myself and El Fakador think of the show? Click the video on screen right now to check that out. I've been Luke Owen, and that was Mecha News!